Hi friends. On July 16th, my wife and I were at our cabin in the Manistee National Forest of Michigan, and we happened to have the windows open, and it was about 10:30 p.m., and we heard this really loud, long howl. And my wife looked at me, and I looked at her, and I jumped outside to try to listen better, but then I kind of lost the howl in coyote howls, and so I figured, well, pretty sure that was a coyote. And I went back inside, and she said to me, that didn't sound like a coyote. And frankly, it didn't sound like a coyote. But interestingly enough, what I was doing that night was I was testing a whole bunch of my recorders. And I was testing these little miniature recorders that I have. And I happened to have one set out in the field about maybe a quarter of a mile away from where we think the howls originated. And so what you can see in the screen in front of you is a condensed version of what happened that night. For instance, here is basically 15 minutes into where I actually set the recorder out, and about 20 minutes later there was you'll hear a bang. There's a bird right there, another bang, and then another bang. And then a couple of hours went by through here, and I clipped that because that would have been really boring. But then take a look there, and something interesting is going to happen there. And then you'll continue to hear it here, and then it kind of trails off, and we lose it with this recorder because it wasn't a high quality recorder. The other one that I have was a higher quality recorder, and this is all about the process that I used with some friends of mine to try to figure out what the heck was it that makes that sound. So I'm going to let you hear the original sound and watch it on the screen. All right, now when I heard that in reality, this right here sounded really, really loud. I never heard these original knocks, but those occurred really close to where the recorder was. But this was just interesting. So my question was, because there were coyotes here, was this a coyote? Or did this make the coyotes howl? And that was my question, and that's what I set out to try to figure out. Well, friends, I am back at the property in the Manistee National Forest where we heard really cool howls about, actually at this point it's about a month ago. I went and I got the SD cards out of the game cameras that were right next to the recorder. So hopefully we'll see what was messing with the recorder. That would be kind of cool. I have no way of looking at them right now. But what I'm doing currently is, after setting up game cameras over there, I'm going to go out here and take a look and see if there's any activity. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set out recorders tonight
in various locations and hopefully capture something else. And so we'll see what happens. I'm not incredibly mobile right now because I hurt my knee, but it's still really fun. And I left my dog up at the cabin, and he's not particularly happy about this. But I figure, get out, I'm here, see what I can see if I can find any activity down here near the water source, even though what I was hearing was up over here near these fields. So I've got game cameras and I'll set up recorders in the fields, but I want to see if there's anything near this river because I haven't been here since really, I haven't been here really since, in this part, since last year. So we'll see. It could be fun. Come on. One of the cool things that I'm banking on is that everything I've heard out here has been like wood knocks and things like that, and it's been during the day. And then when I do hear things at night, which is still pretty darn rare, it's right as it gets dark. And so that just makes things a lot easier. Also, it's noticeable because you'll hear tons of different animals, like whippoorwills and all sorts of critters, and then all of a sudden you hear the loud whoops and howls and things like that. Everything shuts down, and it's actually kind of creepy, to be honest with you. But because it happens right away, I don't have to stay up so late. All right, I'm going to set up my recorder in exactly the same spot it was the last time and see if the same thing happens. But I'm going to record exactly where I put it. See, game camera's right there. And then I'm using this silly little thing. It's really cool. Turn it on. Should be a blue light. There's a blue light. Okay. And then I'm just hooking it right here. That is exactly what I did the last time. I'm going to put it there. And so if anything gets to it, I should get an eyeball on it. Over there was where the howls were coming from, but the tree knocks were this direction. And there's about 400 meters to a road over there. And right there is the Manistee National Forest, and this is my property line. You can kind of see the fence right there. So that's all National Forest. All right. It's Saturday, August 20th at 8:25. Recorder set near game camera next to tree stand 1. Okay, I was actually setting out some recorders and I'm hearing some weird whistles. So, against all better judgment, I'm heading in that direction. I'm going to set this right there. And that way, noises I make won't impact it. That's coming from over there. Whistling is coming from over here. To the left, that was from my cabin. I can just barely hear the whistling now. Whatever it was has moved off. It's over there. I think I'm spooking it. Which makes me then think it's probably a bird. Because I don't think I'm going to scare a big hairy creature. Right now I'm out here without a headlamp or really anything. I've got a knife and a pistol. So I really can't run away from anything. Hopefully my recorders picked up that whistle. That was just weird. Just one I've never heard before. And I'll have someone who knows more than me, which is a lot of people, tell me what it is. An ornithologist or something like that. I'm sure it wasn't an ornithologist, but an ornithologist can tell me what it was. But it is pretty dark. This is where I'm heading. You can kind of see its cabin is run via solar, and I have a battery bank that runs the interior lights, and the exterior lights are just passive little solar things. So I'm going to sit in the patio, which is like 10 feet up in the air or so, maybe a little bit more, and see if we can hear something. Cool.